create that using it. I will be the facilitator for this course tonight. Let me know once again if you can hear me. Welcome. Let me know if you can see my screen. Drop in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see my screen. Much appreciated. System, inventory management system, how to track stock, when to grant leave, check whether is already overdue and stuff like that. We are going to be also looking at please let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see my thinking of whether network is giving me a challenge here. Hear me if you can see my screen, please. Please confirm if it's okay now. Confirm if I'm audible and if you can see my screen now. Much appreciated. Confirm. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Data Analysis Automation course class this evening. Can someone confirm if it's okay now? If everything is okay now? Somewhere you say looks like it's a bit better. I need us to confirm also. Can someone else confirm if the network is okay now so that we hit the ground running? We have certain things to cover this night. We have a lot to cover this night by God's grace. If you are just joining, welcome to tonight's section. Tonight we will be looking at leave and inventory management automation in Excel, which we tag data analysis automation. All right, I was said it is. Thank you. If you are joining, kindly go to the scholarship group. Tag everyone. Let us, those that are here, bombard the scholarship group. Tell everyone that we are live. Tell everyone that we are live. Let's do that within a minute. Just go to the scholarship group on WhatsApp. Tag we are live. Tag as many as you can. Also, second, hit the like button on this live section. It helps to keep our channel healthy, and also make sure to share the live also it helps in keeping the channel healthy as well. So 3 things we need to do now to comment: tag everyone in the group, like the live session, and share the live session. Let's do that within a minute. Much appreciated. That will be much appreciated. Let's do that. Tonight we are going to be looking at how we can automate and manage leave in our various offices. Maybe you are working as a HR officer or as an administrative personnel, or even someone that can also work with admin and stuff like that. You don't want a situation where the company is just using manual entry in their leave or manual entry as regards to their inventories. These are what you can do. You can learn how to automate these things tonight and become a productive employee, become productive, become result oriented in your various endeavor. That's one of the things we are going to be looking at tonight, and then we wrap it up with the payroll stuff that we weren't able to finish. I learned the last time that I was lagging a bit. All right. If you have tagged it, if you have liked the section, and if you have shared this live, just drop in the comments, drop in the chat, done. If you have tagged everyone in the scholarship group, if you have informed them in the scholarship group that we are live already, and you have liked the section, this live session, and then you have shared it, just type in the chat box, done. Do that. Let's do that so that we commence, so that we start immediately. We have already 11 minutes gone or thereabout. So let's do that. Thank you. That will be that's much appreciated. Let's do that. I'm in the chats, I'm in the comments, I'm in the comment section. If you have tagged if you have informed them in the group, in the WhatsApp group, that we are live, the WhatsApp community for this scholarship, and then you have liked this session, also share it, drop in the comment, done. And if you are joining us for the first time, this is Data Analysis Scholarship course, a free Data Analysis Scholarship course. Today is the 7th, if I'm not mistaken, of this scholarship. Today is the 7th of this scholarship. We are already into how will I put it now? We are already into the intermediate phase of Excel. And use Excel for data analysis. So you can do well to check the previous sections, hit the like button. At the same time, you can subscribe to the channel so as to get notified whenever we go live on the channel, so as to be part of this section tonight. All right, Michael, thank you. You said done. All right, let's proceed. Without further ado, let's get cracking. Now we need to go to our Excel, and let's open our Microsoft Excel. Okay, today we will be looking at leave management. We will be starting with leave management system. We will be starting with leave management. Now, what that means or what that entails is designing a sheet, designing an automated sheet whereby we begin to understand, or in a nutshell, see employees that their leave, that have already taken their leave, or those that still have certain leave remaining. Now, to design employee leave management system, we need to have a sheet we call the employee details. Now, let's say this is the name of our organization, then we have the employee details. Now, under the employee details, these key headings are very important, key anyway. The employee ID, full name, department, position, and level. So we need to have our employee details. What's the employee ID? What's their full name, department, position? In some cases, their level. Then after that, we need to also have a sheet where we call our leave entitlement policy. What are the leave that our employees are entitled to? Who is entitled to it and what have you? Now, then after the leave entitlement policy, we also need to have another sheet we call the leave log, where we enter when there is request, we enter the employee, everything, and then if it's approved or not, and what have you, and all that. That's the leave log. Then here now, finally, we have what we can now refer to as leave balance sheet. Now this one, let me give it this column also as to look separate. Now this is leave balance sheet. This is now where the persons managing it will see all the leaves and those that are taking leave and the remaining and what have you. That's the leave balance sheet. So tonight we are going to be looking at how to go about in automating them. Now you have this. Let me zoom in a bit. You have this 101 employees. These I think 101 employees, their department, their names, and all that. Now let's move to leave policy, leave entitlement policy. Now under leave entitlement policy, this is where we state the leave the employees are entitled to and how many days they are entitled to for the leave. Now here we can now come here and we type leave type. We put here leave type, and then the next one is we put entitlements. Now let's format it a bit. Let's go. Okay, now having done that, what are the leave that the organization have? What are the leave the organization? Let's say the mostly is annual leave. We also, let's say the organization is also have a policy for sick leave. Let's say also casual leave. Let's also say maybe maternity leave, for example, maternity leave. Let's say this is the fall leave, or if peradventure the company is also granting wedding leave, for example. Let's say the company has that wedding leave. Then the entitlement, let's say annual leave, let's say 21 days, let's say sick leave, let's say 8 days, casual leave, let's say 6 days, maternity, let's say 24 days, and wedding, let's say 14 days. These are what we refer to as the leave entitlement policy. Now here, let's say I format it more and then make something like this. It's my choice. It's my choice. The way you like, you can format. This is my choice. Now this is what we refer to as our leave entitlement policy. The employees are entitled to annual leave. they're entitled to sick leave, they're entitled to casual leave, they're entitled to maternity leave, they're entitled to wedding leave. Anyone giving birth, if you are pregnant as a lady, you are entitled to 24 days maternity leave and what have you. Now, that is the leave entitlement policy. We have created that. The next is to go over to our leave log. This is where we enter anybody that takes leave. Here we enter those that took leave, we appear here. If a particular employee have taken his or her annual leave, it will show here. If it's remaining, it will. If he's taking his annual leave, it will show here the days he has taken and what have you. Now, how do we go about this? The request ID is something that when it comes, it can be generated that on that. Then the employee ID. The employee ID, to get the employee ID, it has to be from the employee details. These are the employee IDs. To get it, it has to be from the employee details. Now, there is something I'm going to do here. I haven't taught that. I will be teaching that from tomorrow, but I'm going to use it. I will be teaching that from tomorrow, but I'm going to use it. That is to create, that's what we call data validation. Data validation. I'm going to use data validation in this case now. So what do I need to do? I will click on C. I will click on column C. Once I do that, I head over to my data tab. I go to the data tab, as we can see right on our screen. Go to the data tab. Under data tab, I will come over to this place. You can see that data validation. Now, once I click on it, I select data validation. Now, it is telling me this session contains some cells without data validation. Do you want to? I will say, oh, yes. Now, in this case, I will come here to select list. Now, once I select list, let me clear this. Now, once I select the list, now it's asking me where is my source. The list I want to put in, where is the source? There are two ways you can type it manually. You can type it in here manually and separate it with comma, or you can go to employee sheet. This is the employee sheet, and then under the employee sheet you select the employee ID, hold Control, hold Shift, press the down arrow to highlight the entire range, and then we say OK. Now we have created data validation for employee ID here. So what that means is that any employee that is taking leave, you come here, you click this drop down arrow or this drop down list, all the employee ID will be here. All of them from 1 to 101, they are all here. That's what we refer to as data validation. I'm going to do an extensive teaching on that tomorrow. To tomorrow's section, we are entering intermediate level. Now, for the full name, we want to make it. We want to do it in a way that if I select a particular employee ID, the details will show. The details here will show. If I select a particular employee ID, the details here will show. So what do I need to do? I need to use what is called XLOOKUP. When I was teaching these functions, there are different ways we can apply them, and one of them is what we can do now. So I'm going to use XLOOKUP to bring in, if I select a particular employee ID, the name will display, the department will display as well. All right, let's go ahead to do that. We say equals XLOOKUP, double click here. Now, what is our lookup value? Our lookup value is the employee ID. So any employee ID displayed here, that's our lookup value. Then comma, where is our lookup array? Our lookup array is now under the employee details. We go to the employee details. The lookup array, where do we see the employee ID, is here. You click this, hold Control, hold Shift, press the down arrow to highlight the entire range. Then you will say comma. Now if I search this array, that's Excel, we are saying Excel, if you search this array and find this employee ID, return this for me. That's why it's asking what's the return array. If you can see this here now, it's asking what is the return array. In other words, if I find the employee ID, what do you want me to return? So I want you to return any corresponding name. Hold Control Shift, any corresponding name, then hit enter. Now it shows NA. Now this NA is because there is no name or there is no ID we have selected. However, to remove this NA, to remove this NS/A, we need to come to this formula. Let's come over to this formula at the end. Now you see that if I put comma, it will ask me value if not found. So let me put comma here. Now the next time we have to do is value if not found. So value if not found, let it be empty. So I will put double quotation, type space, and then close it back. So if it's not found, let it be empty and hit enter. Now automatically this place becomes empty. So what I will do is I will drag it down. Let me drag it down. Let me stop at 200. That's in case. Let me stop at 210. Let me stop at 210. So what that is, let me check something here. Okay, it shouldn't be giving me 0. I don't know why is putting that 0 there. It shouldn't give 0. Value if not found, this, hit enter. Okay, it shouldn't give 0, but that's by the way, it shouldn't give 0. Okay, now let's head over to department. Now for the employee ID here, for the employee ID we have full name, we have department. Department is under E. I'm going to do something so as to make this a bit fast. Instead of doing the same, typing the same formula here, which is I'm going to use XLOOKUP to also bring the department to this place. I'm going to use XLOOKUP. No, this other cell doesn't need to be dragged. This one doesn't need to be dragged. It's already, I selected the entire range. I thought maybe it's because this one is not also for the entire range, but this is, I selected the entire range. Every from column C, from 1 down to 1 point something million has this validation. So that's thing, I have done that. Okay, now for the department, instead of me typing the same formula over again, what I will just do is I will drag this over to this place. So once I drag it, what will happen is this. I have replicated that formula here, but there is a challenge. Here I will come here to, instead of, because if I double click now, this is what it's looking for. But what I want you to look for is this. That's what I want you to look for, is this. Now, what are different ways I would have done this? There is what we call, I told us earlier, there is what is called absolute. There is what is called absolute referencing. We have relative, which is what is using relative movement, and we have mixed referencing. Now, I'm going to use this to teach mixed referencing. Absolute referencing, we have already understood absolute reference. Now, mixed referencing is this. Absolute is that we are locking both column and row. It cannot move. Either way, it cannot move. Both column and rows, we are locking it. But mixed referencing is that we can decide to lock column only and allow row to move. Now watch here. If I drag this to this side and then double click, this moves one step forward. But what I want is that department will also be referring to employee ID. Hence, what I will do here is I will come to this formula. Instead of me pressing F4 to lock this cell, if I press F4, I have locked this particular cell that it cannot move down, it cannot move forward. What I will do is to lock only the column by pressing Shift 4. Shift 4 is to apply lock sign, which is the $sign, to only column. That means if I'm moving this direction, it will not move. But if I'm moving downward, it will move. So if I do that, hit enter, and then come back, watch what happened now, and I drag this forward. Now, what you will notice that if I double click this now, instead of it moving forward again, it will now stay on employee ID. But if I go down, if I drag down like this, double click down, you will notice that if I double click here, this will also move down, because I did not lock the row movement. I only lock the column movement. That is what we mean by mixed referencing. Mixed referencing is when you lock either row or column. You didn't lock both of them. So locking both of them is when I apply $sign to the number. That means I have locked both row and column. Now, the next thing here is that what will be here is name, not department. Watch. If I select a particular name here, if I select a particular ID, you see that below displays this, the not display, does it? It should. XLOOKUP. Okay, let's go to the employee sheet. This is E. The department is under E. The department is under E. So let's come here, change this. Let's change this to E. Change this to E. I'm just using the shortcut. And okay. Let's hit enter. This should show. What happened here? what happened here? Hmm. Okay, let me create a new log. Let me create a new sheet. I don't really, let me create a new sheet from scratch. Let me copy this, Control C. It should work, but let me know what its challenges. Okay. Then we have here request ID, employee ID, full name, department, we have leave type, okay, and let me apply the same formatting to all this. All right. Okay. Now let me apply the same data validation. My source is from employee table, down, enter. That's data validation here. All right. Then for the name, we are going to use XLOOKUP. Double click, lookup value is this, comma. Then lookup array is on the employee ID, which is this range. Control Shift down, and then comma. What's our lookup? What's our return array? Our return array is this. Control Shift down, and then comma. If not found, this space and close it, then hit enter. So we have this. Now let's drag it down to, let's say, 105. It's still giving me that zero stuff. Okay. Now let's come over to this, apply $sign to this, hit enter, drag it to this place. Then once that is done, I will, let's check here, employee ID, then here employee ID, okay, we will change this to what? Okay. We will change this to C. I think this is where our error is. We will change this to C. And then let's check again. Department is E. Yes, I think that's where our error is. We will change this one to C. C-E-E, and then hit enter. Let's double click. So if we select this, the two departments will show. I think that's where our error is here. Is the same. Yes, is the same. So this we need to change this to C and change this one to C as well. That's where the error is. Hit enter. The department will show. So let's still maintain what we have here. Then we drag down other ones show. So what that entails is that when we enter any employee here, the details should be able to display. If I drag it down, it should. Why is it? Why is it? Okay. Okay. So anywhere, any number I select here, of course it should show. I don't know what's wrong with that one. So if employee 101, the details will show, the person name will show here, and then the department the person is in. So that makes the whole stuff dynamic. That makes it dynamic. Let's remove this. Now the leaf type. Now under the leaf type, we are also going to use data validation. Let me select this, go over to this place, select data validation, come over to this place, list. Where are we getting our list from? Under the leaf type is under leaf policy. So click here, come over to this place. This is our leaf type. We highlight this. So once we highlight it and then we hit enter. So here we are having our leave. So this, whether the employee, if he's asking for annual leave, we select. If it's casual, we select. If it's any, we select. Okay. Now under the date, here we enter the date the leave starts and the date the leave ends. That's for that is we that we enter it manually. Then we get over to total number of days or total days. Let me zoom in a bit so that we can see it more. Now under total days, what this does is to calculate the total days the person have taken for that leave. So to calculate that, we use a formula called network days. We have talked about this when we did under functions and formula. So double click this, it will ask the start date. This is the start date you select, comma, it will ask the end date. If there are holidays within that, you can put it, but for now it's leave we are talking about. Hence you hit enter. That will be 0. Then let's double click down. Status. Now status, we're also going to apply data validation. Under data validation, click on J. I'm going to do extensive training on that tomorrow, so just go with me. Go with me. Okay, now let's select lists and then let me approved. comma, I'm typing this one now manually, then pending, comma, we can reject it. If the leave is rejected, we select. If it's pending, pending approval. If it's approved, then we select and we hit OK. Now we have this. So you can select anyone, approve, pending, and that is what we have. Now we have been able to make our leave log dynamic. So if I select any of these employee, the name will display. Then I can come here and select a particular leave. Let's say it's casual leave, and then start date. Let's say the start date is this. For example, let's say is this 2025, and end date is, let's say 5/21/2025. Hit enter. So that is 13 days. 13 days. And let's say the leave is approved. We select approved. Now that's for this person. Then the request ID, you can generate it using any random value. Using a random value, run between, we can generate it using this. For example, that comes up. We can then double click down, Ctrl C to copy, then Ctrl C to copy, come over to this place, paste as values. We have the request ID. Now this is for this particular employee. The next employee can come, and then once your employee ID, the person calls, you select the details we show, and then we go ahead to the leave the person is going for. And that is on the leave log to enter details of leave the person's. Once it's been entered, the date the person starts the leave. When the person comes back, you enter the end date. The total days of the person's stays on leave will show. And once the status, if it's approved, you have to display it here. That's on the leave log. Now let's move over to what we refer to as balance sheet. Let me zoom in a bit so that we can see it more. Now here is the leave balance sheet. Here is the leave balance sheet. Now, under this leave balance sheet, what we are going to do here is we are going to link what is here. We are going to link the employee ID to the log, so that anybody that comes text here, we automatically reflect, it will automatically reflect here. Okay, this is our current log now. Anybody like this particular Musa Bello here operation, it will reflect here. Once a leave is being entered, once someone details is being entered in the leave log, it should also display here. That's what we are talking about now. So what we are going to do is we are going to use linking. We are going to link this to this one. This is confusing me. Let me hide it. So we are going to use this to this. And to do that is very simple. I'm going to say equals to, come to sheet 16 and click here. Once that is done, I will hit enter. So whatever that is there is here. If I delete this from here, automatically is deleted from here as well. So once that is done, I can drag it down. So once I drag it down, you notice it's replicating the other ones there. If I get it to the point where there is no longer value, you will see it return 0. So what we are doing here is, if paraventure nothing, let me highlight this here, enter and delete. If we come to this place, no value. So what we just did here is, in a situation where this happens, what will happen is this here remains empty. So anybody that takes such stuff here, it will display here. That's on that. Now, what of the full name? Now we can also use XLOOKUP. For the full name, we can also use XLOOKUP as well, to say equals XLOOKUP I mistakenly clicked on something. Okay, now we can now say XLOOKUP. What's our lookup value? Our lookup value is whatever that is here, employee ID. Then, comma, what is our lookup array? Our lookup array is, where is our employee details? Our lookup array is here. Then hold Control, hold Shift, press the down arrow. Then, comma, what is our, our lookup array is C, not D. Our D is the return array. So once we find out what's our return array is the name, the full name, comma, if we can't get it, space, close, hit enter. So that is what we have. That is what we have. If here I enter, okay. There is a mistake here. This, I linked this to a wrong date. I linked this to a wrong column. So I'm going to do that again. Equals, come to this sheet, I'm going to select employee. I'm going to do that again. Equals to sheet this. Okay, because of data validation is not selected. Now, if you encounter this challenge, what you will do is this. Let's go back to this place. Let's remove the validation. Let's remove the data validation. We are going to insert it again. We are going to put it back. Let's remove the data validation, come over here, under list, say any value and say OK. Now we removed the data validation. Let's come back and do what we want to do. We say equals to, come over to this place. Now we can link this and hit enter. That is what we have. Let's double click down. We fill the rest. So having done that, let's go back and then do our validation again. For the leave log, so we go to employee details to get that. Someone might ask, why didn't we do this straight from here? The reason is simple. If we do it from here and someone select anything here, it will not reflect here. We want whatsoever that is entered in the leave log should be able to reflect in the leave balance sheet. So that's what we have. So if I come here now and enter a particular number, let's say I enter 8, it shows this. If I come over to this place, it will display. What that entails is this. Let me explain. If this person have taken his casual leave, also comes here and decide, the same employee decide to take his let's say take his annual leave, it will also, the same employee will also show here, so as to ensure that every detail is captured, every detail is captured. That's why we need to link this to this particular sheet. It might be a bit confusing to some of us, but please follow this and make sure you get it and get it effectively. So that's why we have to link this particular employee detail to this employee here. Very, very important. Very, very important. Now, under this, there are ways, there are things we can do. Easy way, let me go the easy way without, how will I put it, without using the function. Let me go the easy way. We can do that, it will work. If I say equals to, and come to this sheet here, and click on this, hit enter, it will show. Then I will drop down, everything shows. The same way I say equals to, come to this sheet here, hit enter, it displays everything here down. Now, the same way I can also do that for the leaf sheet. Now, why is that possible? Let me show. If paraventure is not Musa Bello, is, let's say, this person, Funke, when we get here, automatically it will change. So it makes it dynamic. This linking, we call it linking worksheet. Linking worksheet. Linking cells is based on, I can be here, I can say equals to this. Whatever that is in this place is what we display here. That is called cell linking. If I hit enter, it displays, but that's not what I want. That is called cell linking. So when I link something from this particular sheet to this sheet, it's called linking worksheet. Linking worksheet. So whatever happens here is what also happens here. Now, having explained that, I can also say equals to, come over to this place and click on casual leave and hit enter. The same thing will display. I will double click down to show the rest. I will double click down to show the rest. Please, I hope I'm still audible. I hope I'm still audible. If you can hear me, please let me know. Drop in the chat, drop in the chat. If you can still hear me, let's drop it in the comments. Let's drop it in the comments if I'm still audible, if you can see my screen, because I'm moving to do something. I want to do something I'm going to do something very, very important now. Leave entitlements. I'm going to do something very, very important now. If you can still hear me, please let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comment if you can still hear me. If you can still see my screen, drop in the comments. Much appreciated. Drop that so that I know we are still on the same page. If you can still hear me, please kindly drop in the chat. If If my screen is visible and you can hear me, drop in the chat, please. Yes, sir. We are good, sir. All right, beautiful. Taiwo, beautiful. Now, under the leave entitlements, we are going to use stuff that we are going to make use of the ifs. We are going to make use of the ifs. Now, what are we going to do here? We are going to say equals to ifs, double click. Now, what is the first logical test? If this equals to annual, comma, what do you want us to return? What's our annual leave entitlement? Is 21. We type 21. Then, comma, what's our second logical test is if this. Please, can we hear me, please? We are doing something, we are making use of functions to automate our leave management sheet. We are making use of functions. So if this equals, what's the next one? I think the next one is sick leave. If it's equals sick, close the quotation, comma, what's our sick leave? What do we give our sick leave? 8. I think 8, yes. Then, comma, what's our logical test? 3. If this equals, what's casual? I think, casual, comma, what do we give it? We put comma, we give it 6. That's on the casual. Then we put comma. Fourth logical test, if this equals wedding, close it, comma, what do we give it? 14, comma, what's our fifth logical test? If this equals maternity, close it, put comma, what did we give it? I think it's 24. Now that's what we need to do using the ifs function. Using the ifs function. If E7 is equals to annual, return 21. If he's sick, return 8. If he's casual, return 6. If he's wedding, 14. If he's maternity, 24. Hence, we hit enter. So automatically it gives us 6. Now if here under the leave log that the stuff is, let's say, where is our here, if here is not casual, let's say it's maternity, automatically if I come here it will change to 24. So it makes it to be dynamic. Then leave taking. Now under the leave taking, we need to use another function. We need to use another function. How do we know the leave taking? The leave taking is from this sheet. This is the leave taking. This is the total days for this. The total leave taking. This is the total days. Now, what we are going to do is this. We are going to use some ifs. So to do that, we are going to say equals some ifs. First is asking what's the sum range. Our sum range is here. This is the sum range. Let's hold Control, hold Shift, down arrow to select the entire range. Then, comma, is asking us what's the criteria range 1. What is the criteria range 1? Now, please pay attention here now. There we are going to be working with three criteria. Number one is the employee ID, which is a unique identifier. In database, there is something we call primary key. There is something we call primary key, and primary key is a unique identifier. In our system, in our database, no employee has the same ID. Every employee has their own ID, so that's a unique identifier. Hence, employee ID is one of the criteria. Then leave type is also another criteria we are going to be using for the sum, another criteria, and then status, approve. So bear that in mind. So criteria range 1, under this leave log is, we are going to just click here. Just click the up from C down, then put comma. Hence, will it work? I'm not sure it will work. I'm not sure. Well, let's see. Now, okay, I think it will not work. I did a mistake. Let me start it afresh. What is the sum range? Here, the sum range, I'm going to click here. Let me select the entire range to be sure that everything is selected. So that's the entire range, then comma. What is the criteria range 1? The criteria range 1 is this, employee ID. Then comma, what is the criteria 1? This. I click follow my steps. Follow my steps is getting a bit tricky. Follow my steps. Then you click on this, put comma. What is criteria range 2? The criteria range 2 is this. That's the leave type. I'm going to show you why we are using leave type as part of our criteria. I'm going to explain. So once you select that, you put comma, and what is the criteria? What's the criteria 2? You select this, put comma, and then what is our criteria 3, which is status? You select this, comma, and then we want Excel to sum only those that have this leave and then that is approved. If it's not approved, don't submit. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to open double quotation and type approved. Then close it. Please watch this and understand it. I'm using sum ifs. What is the sum range? This is the sum range, the total, this range. What is criteria range 1? The criteria range 1 is employee ID column. Comma, what is criteria 1? This employee ID. What of the second criteria? This leave type, this column under leave. What is the criteria 2? This. The criteria 3 is this status. And what are we looking for? Approved. So once that is done, we hit enter. Automatically it brings us this. Now let's move down. You see the rest is 0. Why? Because if we get to log, here nothing is here. This is not approved. So it gives us 0. Now let's look at it. If I enter, let's say, sick leave here, and then let me put in a particular number here. Let me explain that. We are getting to the end of this particular one, then we move to inventory, and let's say I have stuff like this. I'm just typing any number here. Now this Okay, I'm surprised at the number. So now we have this, and this is the ID, this is this. Let me put approve so that we understand. So if I put approve, let's go over to this place. You see automatically it displays 18. It sums 18. Now let's go back. If I change it to pending, let's come over to this place. You see it didn't do anything because the three criteria is not met. It has employee ID, it has the sick leave, but here is pending, not approved. We gave a condition for approved. Also, let me also show us something now. If we come over to this place and I select the same employee that is, the number is 10, and then I will come over to this place. Let me put in another date, 2025. Let's move say 7/ let's say 10/2025. Enter 4 days. Now watch closely. If I come to leave here, okay, I think I haven't said if it's approved or not. Now I'm going to approve it, and then it will display here this person. Where is it? Okay, here is annual leave. Here is annual leave. Is this approved? Here the annual leave is summarized. Is the same employee. He or she has taken maternity leave, annual leave. But let's take for example, it was a mistake. The person took maternity leave. Let's change it here and watch what happens. Now when we select maternity leave here, and then we come to this place, you notice that for maternity leave, automatically it sums it up. It sums it up. 13 plus 4, that's 17. So whenever you see this employee here and he's talking about maternity leave, he has already taken 17 days. So that's why we need this criteria here, so as to differentiate the particular leave the employee have taken. If we didn't use this, once he sees the same stuff, it will calculate it. Once he sees maternity, sick leave, it will calculate it together. If we didn't include this particular criteria, if we only use employee ID and the status under our leave log sheet, if we only use employee ID and the status, whatever it is, whether annual, maternity, it will sum it up. So that's why we need to use this. Then we get over to leave remaining. The leave remaining will be equals to leave entitlement minus leave taken. Hit enter. Is telling us is remaining 7. Now here maternity. Okay, I think I haven't dropped this down. Yeah, I haven't dropped that down. And now this is where we need to change certain things. You see, this is not good for us. For our data set is not good. All this NA. So what do? We will come to this function again. In front of ifs, we will type if error. That's to correct that error message. So once we do that, what's the value? We come here and put comma. It's asking us value if error. What do we have? Let's just make it empty. Close it. Close the bracket again and hit enter. So we have this value. Let's drop this down. Automatically this becomes empty. That's the if error helps us to sort out this. Hence we can also do the same here. We can also come here and put if error, double click. Then what is this? If error, put comma. What value? Put quotation, space, and then close the quotation. Did I put quotation here? That's double quotation, space, and close it. Hit enter. Now we can double click down. That will be clear. We have talked about this in functions. So that is on the leaf remaining. Now there is something I want to teach us this night. There is something I want to teach us this night. I believe I will have time to do that. Now you can put certain signs. You can put signs. Let's say you can put signs. That's just that. Let me say you can put signs and then put some remarks. Now what is the signs? Follow me closely, please. I can use equals to if. Double click here. If this is greater than, let's say if this is greater than 5, comma, what do I need? I need P, put P, but that P will be in capital letter. I'm going to show you something amazing this night. That P will be in capital letter. Then, comma, if it's not, close quotation, space, close it, and then hit enter. So what we have here is P. Let's double click for the rest. That is P. Now, the next we are going to do is we are going to come here and say equals if this is greater than 5, comma, let's say okay. For example, whatever name you want to give it, comma, open this, put space, close it, and hit enter. That is okay. Okay, no. Now this one, I'm going to use 3 criteria, so I'm going to use ifs. If this is greater than this, okay. I'm going to use ifs. If this is greater than this, give me okay. Then if this is less than 5, comma, if it's less than 5, comma, what do I want? Let's say warning. Warning is okay. Then okay, that's then comma, if this is less than or equals to 0, comma, what do I want? Rejected. So if the person is trying to take leave, but his leave entitlement is over, he has finished his leave entitlement, it will show. So we hit enter. So this is still okay. Then we drag down. Also here, I'm going to use that ifs as well. I'm going to use it so that I think that's what I should have done. I'm going to use the if function ifs again. If this is greater than 5, return P. If this is less than 5, comma, what do I want to return? What's that? Return W. Return W. Then, comma, if this is less than or equals to 0, comma, return either T or R, anyone, return R for me, capital letter. Close it and hit enter. That's what it gives me. Remember, I use ifs function, ifs. Now, here is the magic. It's normal magic anyway, it's normal Excel. Let me not say it's magic, it's normal Excel. Now, remember, this is highlighted. All this is highlighted. They are all highlighted. Now, I will go to my home tab. Under my home tab, I will select a particular font style. I will select a particular font style. That font style is called Windings. Now you will see it down here. You will see it down here. But I will select Windings 2. If I select Windings 2, you will see it turns to something like you marked good. So that's what I mean by icon. It turns to something marked good. Now let's now see for others. Let's say let's say I increase this to, let's say, 15. Hit enter is 7. Let's come to the balance stuff. You now see, because it's now less than 5, the person has taken 20 days. He's showing warning or that your leave for this maternity don't they finish, or the leave don't they finish. That's warning. So with that, we can be able to know when it's finishing, when it's okay, and when it's going to be rejected. Now, for example, if here I now increase this, let's say, I increase this to 22 and hit enter. It's now 12. It's 25. If I come here, it's minus 1. It should be rejected. What did I type there? If this is greater than 5, if this is less than 5. Okay. If this is greater than 0, that's the argument that should be there. That's the argument that should be there. If this is greater than 0, if this is greater than 0, if this is greater than 5, if this is greater than 0, then if it's less than or equals to 0, that's the correct argument that should be there. So once that is done, you see what we have there. So this, what did I put here? The one that I should use there is, the one that I should use is not R, is V. V will give me that sign, this sign. Once you make it to be, once you use Windings as the font style, once you use Windings as the font style, V is this sign. P, capital P, they must be in capital letter. If not, it will not show you this sign. Capital letter V will be this. Capital letter P will give you good sign, as if you are marking it good. And then the one of W will give you that warning signal. So here I will also need to change this particular. I will also need to change it if it's greater than 0. I also need to change that argument for this to hit enter, so as to get the right stuff. Now this is what you can do. This is what you can do. Tomorrow we will be looking at conditional formatting and others. I will use conditional formatting to fly other things. So let's quickly, we have less than we have close just 30 minutes there about to round up. That's for leave management sheet automation, automated. So if I come here and select any employee, and that, for example, I select this, it displays, I come over to this place, let's say it's wedding, and then for this, let's say this we are in July, I think so. We are in July, this is 7th, the person is the person is leaving. Today is 28th. Let's say we say today 28th 2025, and then let's say the person left first the person left on the 5th of July 2025, and the person is coming back today. We are entering it that the person returns today 2025. So 16 days, and this leave is approved, has been approved. That means if we get here, the person already overstayed. We can either reject it or over, whatever we want to put here, over. So that shows the person's entitlement is 14, but he has taken 16. So in other words, the person, we can carry it over to next month, or wedding is just once and for all. There's nothing like wedding leave again. We can just move it over to the next stuff and then ensure we deduct it, or we can leave it depending on the management. So that is on the leave balance sheet. Let's move over to the inventory. Now what I have here, I'm not going to spend much time here. I have done a bit of work on this to give us a comprehensive column header on the inventory log. You are working as a logistician or someone as an inventory specialist, a data entry or inventory personnel. There are certain things you need to put up in place. The headings, your item ID, which is a unique identifier. Every item has to be unique. Every item has to have a unique ID. A unique ID. Then the item name, the item class. Now on the item class, under the item class, in inventory, there is what we call stock items. There is what we call non-stock items. We have assembly, we have consumables, we have finished goods. So you need to you need to state what item class is that particular item. Stock items are items that we use regularly, that is used for, we can sell, we can use for production. That's stock items. Non-stock are those fixed items. We are not buying them for sale. We just, maybe you bought a chair for the office. That's non-stock item. That chair is there for the office to use. It's not something you sell or something you put into use in order to get money. That chair is fixed. You are not buying it for the next 1 year, 2 years thereabout. It's a non-stock item. So here, for us to do this, we are going to put data validation. Go click on C, come to data, and then data validation. Select your list, and here we can type it. We can type stock, non-stock, comma, assembly, comma, finished, goods, comma, consumables. Okay, let's say these are the categories we have. There are other ones. But let's say these are the categories we have. And then we hit OK. Now, once that is done, you can come here. Once you are entering, if it's a stock, you enter. If it's finished, you enter. If it's stock item, you enter. Then category. Now, under the category, whether it's furniture, whether it's whatever, we can also do the same using data validation. So we click. So we go ahead over to this place, data validation. Come here, list, click here. We can say food, furniture. We can also have electronics. Depending on our choice, we can also have packaging. It all depends on the organization, what they are into. We also have maybe IT equipment. So let's say this is what we have, and then we say okay. So here, whatever that item is, we select. Now, item location, we also use data validation for it. I'm not going to waste much time on this. We also use data validation on it. If it's in the store, if it's in the warehouse, if it's in the shelf, if it's in our branch office, maybe branch 1 or so, wherever the item is, and wherever the item is sent, you put the item location where we can find the item. The unit of measurement also, you can use data validation for it, so that it becomes easy like these ones. As the unit of measurement, how do we measure that particular item? Do we measure it in liters? Do we measure it in cartons? Are we measuring it in pieces? Are we measuring it, let's say, liter, carton, pieces, whatever unit of measurement we are using? 12 pieces, 10 cartons, 2 liters, whatever. Then that's also, you can put it under data validation as well. Then if the product have badge number, you put it. If it's product that has expiration date, you put expiring date. You ensure to put that as well. Then reorder level. This where is becoming now reorder level. What reorder level is at what stage will our stock get to, we need to reorder. So as we don't come to a point where we don't have it at all. Because when we reorder, it's not exactly the time the order will come. So let's take, for example, the reorder level for this item is 50, for example. Of course, this should be a stock. Let's say it's stock item. Let's say it's reorder level is 50. Now, restock needed. Now, what that is we are going to use if formula. We are going to say equals to if this is less than or equals to 50, comma, then Yes. If not, no. That's what we have hit enter. So because it's 50, we are going to have yes. Here we have supplier's name. Here we have supplier name. These are things we need to put in the inventory, a comprehensive inventory log. Then supplier contact, unit price. Unit price. No, I made a mistake in this calculation. Yeah, I think is a mistake. Unit price is the price per one of the stock. That's the unit price. Stock in, the number of stock we receive. Stock out, the number of stock that have gone out. Now the current stock. The current stock. This is where we need to do so. The current stock will be equals to stock in minus stock out. That's what we need to know the current stock. Stock in minus stock out. That's what we have. So now for us to determine whether we need to restock needed, we are going to say equals to if the current stock, if the current stock is less than or equals to this, comma, then yes. That's what we need to do. Comma, open parenthesis, then no. If it's greater than, no need. We don't need to restock. But if it's less than or equals to 50, this is our reorder level. In the company, our 50 is the reorder level. So what we need to do now is to hit enter. So here the current stock is 0, so we need to restock. Remember that. Now let's move. Last restock date. The last restock date is the last date in which we receive stock. Stocking, the last date we stocked goods, we stock product first. That's the last restock date. Now stock value. The stock value is equals to current stock times unit price. That's the stock value. We hit enter. So all these calculations we are doing, we need to, let's say, drag down some. Let's drag down some here. So that after we are going to do some calculation. Now minimum stock level. Now minimum stock level, this reorder. But minimum is the worst case scenario in case we go beyond stock level. In other words, the minimum stock level, if our reorder level is 50, our minimum stock level can be 45. The maximum here is to ensure that we don't overstock. Let's say our maximum stock level, maybe we say is 250. So that we don't overstock, that once it goes beyond 250, that means overstocking. We need to do something about it. That's the maximum stock level. So then we have this. Now, remark, we can put two remarks here whereby we say if this is greater than 250, overstocking, to let us know that's overstocking. So if we say if no, not even. We are going to remark whatever. Let's use status. Equals if this is greater than 250. If it's greater than 250, comma, over, or we say SS stock. If not, okay, hit enter. So it's not over 250. Now we also put the one to take over, to take care of this. If is less than so this, then danger, alert, reorder immediately, restock immediately. That can be our stock. Then warranty. If the product has warranty, 6 months warranty, 1 year warranty, 2 years warranty, we enter it here. Serial number of the product. If the product has serial number, we enter here. Lead time days. Lead time days is the time it took the supplier to send us the stock. The time it took the supplier to send the stock to us. If it took him 1 week, 2 days, 13 days, 14 days, 1 month, depending on that, that's what we mean by lead time days in inventory taking. Then storage condition. The storage condition, the product, whether you need to store it in a cold room, in a dark room, in a warm environment, and what have you. The storage condition, you need to specify it here on the inventory catalog. Then item brand. If it's item that have different brands, let's say you are talking about charger, you have Oraimo, you have New Age, you have this, you have a Samsung, and that. You put the brand, item brand. Then if it has barcode, you enter the barcode. And this is the comprehensive aspect of inventory taking. So let's say you got a stocking, we received 200, and then we have sold 160, for example, is out. This is stock taking or the inventory log. All right. Now, before we wrap up today's session, I'm going to round it up with the tax aspect. The payroll, where we were talking about that earlier, where we have I've used this payroll for something today. I use this for something today, but this is what we are interested. We are interested in these figures. These are what we are interested to calculate taxable income, and from there calculate the tax for the month. And this is the calculator. Now, the other time I put the values here, which makes us to have something as regards to error. So here the taxable income as under the Nigerian tax system, the taxable income is gross minus pension minus other deduction. My gross minus pension minus CRA, NHF, NH. If your organization is into this, I have said that before. If your organization does National Housing Fund, National Society Insurance Trust Fund, if your organization does that, also if your organization lists you as is into pensions and stuff like that, which is supposed to be, that's how to calculate taxable income. the income to be taxed. Now we have the new tax brand where we have those earning anything below 800, below 800, anything 800,000 below annually will not pay tax. But if you are earning anything above 800 and 3 within 800 above and then 3 million, you are paying 15%, and so on and so forth. Now to calculate that, to calculate the to calculate that, we need to know our taxable income. And to get the taxable income, that's based on annual, because this tax brand, this tax band is on annual. If you are earning annual income, if your annual income is below 800,000 or 800,000 below, you are not paying anything. That's if your annual income is below 800,000 or your annual taxable Jesus, if I do that. Please, where did you stop hearing me, please? Where did you stop hearing me? Can someone confirm where you stop hearing? Where did you stop hearing me? Can someone confirm where you stop hearing me, please? Someone should confirm you stop hearing me. Hearing me, please. Let's do this and wrap up tonight's section. Let's do this and wrap up tonight. Can someone confirm where you stop hearing me? Please confirm where you stop hearing me, please. From the start of the payroll. Wow. From the start of the payroll. Can someone else? Who else? FIFA me says from the start of the payroll. Okay, beautiful. That means inventory is confirmed. Leave management sheet is confirmed. So our assignments, our project assignment number 2 is to prepare a leave management sheet. Leave management sheet. Prepare automated leave management sheet. Inventory log. Then number 3 is to prepare okay, I think as I was saying, I said the first assignment before is the automated student result sheet. The second one is the leave management. We have also learned tonight, insert the formulas, make it automated when there is to reorder and all that, as we have seen this night. Then the fourth assignment is to prepare a payroll template, like we have learned. What I'm going to explain finally before we wrap up is the taxable income and how to go about it. Other things on the payroll is how to get every other things here to do your housing allowance. This, we have talked about that in the previous section. But where we had issues the last time was getting the tax, which is the calculating the taxable income. Gross remains basic salary plus all the allowances. That's gross. Then deduction, total deduction becomes all the tax from tax, pension, this, all that becomes the total deduction. Net salary becomes still gross minus total deduction. Annual salary is now net times 12. Weekly is annual divided by 52. We always see that. Then daily is annual divided by 365, as we can see. Now what I'm going to explain is the taxable income. And then how to calculate our tax and get our tax into this in order to calculate it. Now, going to calculator, I said that taxable income are the formula for taxable income is gross. That's annual gross. Let me put here A dot gross. Annual gross, A dot pension, annual gross minus annual pension minus annual CRA, the same way this, annual, this, and then other deductions. That is how to calculate your taxable income, to know whether the person's income will be taxed, whether we are going to apply tax on the person's income. That's what we refer to as taxable income, to know whether the persons will apply tax. Now, under the new bank system, Nigerian new bank tax system, based on new tax reforms that will be taking effect from next year, if you are earning 800,000 below, 800,000 less, from 800,000 less annually, not monthly, if your annual income is 800,000 less, annual taxable income, let me put it down, annual taxable income, if your annual taxable income is 800,000 less, then you are not going to pay any tax. That's zero. But if your annual taxable income, is above 800,000, then these are the bands. If it's above 800, if it's above 800 and then 3 million, that's 15% tax. If it's above 3 million but 12 million, that's within this range, that's 18%, and so on and so forth. Hence, to calculate taxable income, which is annual taxable income, the formula is okay. To calculate that, now to calculate the annual taxable income is simply the annual gross salary, the gross salary of the individual, of the employee, times 12. That is the annual gross. So if you calculate the employee's gross salary, which is this, which is J8, multiply it by 12. That's how you get the employee annual gross. That's 12 times the gross. That's J8. This payroll temp here is telling us, or telling me, that I'm no longer in the calculator sheet. This is in the payroll sheet, payroll temp sheet. This value J8 is in the payroll temp sheet. Then annual gross minus these deductions. Now, annual gross minus these deductions. What is this here? Delete this. Now, annual gross minus this deduction, and these deductions are gross. They are all times 12. Now, how do you know? If you come here, if I click on this, you see that this is times 12, because the CRA is 20% of gross plus 200,000. That's 20% of gross. This is monthly gross. Then you multiply it by 12, then add 200,000. That's CRA, consolidated relief allowance thereabout. That's the full name. Times 12. That's annual. Pension is times 12. If you come to this place, you will see that we have already calculated our pension, and our pension under Nigeria pension scheme is 8%. 8% times the sum. 8% times the sum of basic salary plus housing allowance and transport. That's what we have here. 8% times basic salary plus times in bracket. That means you will first sum this up. Don't go and multiply it, as you will first sum this up, and then whatever be the value, you multiply it by 8%. That's pension. So when you get it, you multiply by 12. That's now annual pension. The same way you do to this one, that's also annual NHF, NACTs, NSTF, stuff like that. That's the same way you do that. So once you get all these deductions, once you get all these annual deductions value, once you get all the annual deduction value, then you calculate your taxable income, which will now be annual gross minus annual CRA minus annual pension minus annual NHF minus annual NHT minus other deductions. That's taxable income. So after that, you get your taxable income. If you now calculate your tax amount, this is where it gets a bit tricky. You now calculate your tax amount. If this person's tax is within the tax where he or she will pay tax, you calculate it. So how do we do that? We come here and make use of if function. We are saying if this value here, that's what you see C12. If this value here is less than or equals to this value, 800,000, then no need, no tax. That's why we put 0, comma. But if this is less than or equals to this value here, then what do we want? We return this value C12 times 0.15, which is 15%. That's if it falls within this range. But if not, if this value here is less than or equals to 12 million, then we have to return this value times 18. That's what you are seeing here, C12. That's this value here times 18%. Comma, it is not. If this value is less than or equals to 25 million, then return this value here times 21%. That's same thing with this. If this is less than or equals to this value 50, comma, return this value times 23%, which is 0.23. Then if that is greater, if this value is greater than 50 million, then multiply that value with 25% and return it for me. That's what we are talking about here. So when you do that, you hit enter. It returns the annual tax amount for you. So if you double click down, it calculates the rest. Hence, for you now to know the amount of tax the employee is supposed to pay within that month. This is annual tax by that employee that is earning this. This is the annual tax. For you to now know the amount of monthly tax based on this annual tax amount, you will come to payroll, come over to this. What you will do is just to say equals to, come over to calculator, select the tax amount, and then say divide, that slash, divide by 12. Then hit enter. Automatically it reflects here. And then you double click for the others to be calculated. That's how you calculate your tax. So this person is paying a monthly tax of 4,000 something, then that's part of the deduction. That's part of the deduction of that particular individual. So with that, you can now calculate your total deduction, then get your net salary, annual salary, and that is all. Now, what I want you to do is that your template has to be like this. The payroll template has to be without any value. It has to be like this, so that whenever you enter the basic salary, every other thing will be calculated. Let me zoom out a bit so that we can see it more. Let me make it 100. So it has to be like this. Other details can be here. You have other employee ID, full name, department, bank. That's bank, account, less account number, basic salary, housing allowance, which is 20%. I showed us this. This is 20%. Let me highlight it so that when we are working, we know what we are working with. You can use your own percentage, or let's use general percentage. These ones are not optional. That's the rate. This is 1% of gross. This is 2.5% of basic salary. That's what to calculate this. Then this is 20% of basic salary, 80% of basic salary, 25% of basic salary. So your payroll template should be like this. Your payroll template should be like this. So in the end, when you now enter your basic salary, every other things will be calculated. Let's say this person is earning, let's say 45,000 for example, and I hit enter, other things get calculated. What that means is that this person is not, this taxable income is not up to 800. So if we go to calculator, you see right here that this person taxable income is not up to 800,000. So no, there is no tax for this person. This person is not going to be charged any tax. That's what it means. So that's on the aspect of payroll. There are a lot of things in Excel. I'm taking a bit time to make it, to show us different real life projects Excel can help us to do in our journey for data analysis, whether you're a financial data analyst, whether you are a business data analyst, whether you're a business analyst, whether you are into HR, whether you are into education, Excel have you covered. So this how you can automate your payroll template, and then tomorrow we will be looking at customization, data formatting. We'll be looking at data formatting, how we can format, customize, and data security, secure our data, apply security to our data so that people don't change the values. Those are the things we will be working tomorrow. So your assignment, the project assignment that will be submitted on or before Sunday this week is 4. I'm going to list it now. Is 4. Those of us in the scholarship, 4 project assignment. This is really what makes you data analyst. You need to do this project so that you can upload it. There are a lot of things I'm going to be talking to us on the group, how we can go about in building our portfolio. I'm going to be talking to us on that on the group. So the project assignment is 1 student result sheet, automated student result sheet, inventory log, all of them like template. Then number 3 is leave management system. That's number 3. Then number 4 is payroll template. Now, having done this, what to do? Let's take, for example, you have prepared this payroll and you want to save it. How do you save it? You don't save it as normal Excel stuff, file or stuff like that. You can save it as Excel template, so that tomorrow you can give it to anybody. The formula will remain there and all that. So how do you do that? Go to file. Under file, you come to save as. I'm rounding up with this. This is the last stuff on this. So as to save it as template, you can give it to anybody. When you open it, Excel will open it as a fresh document while your template remains. So you go to, I want to save it on my desktop. I click on desktop. My desktop, I want to save on desktop. That's on desktop. Then I click on save. I click on save. So once I click on save, it's being saved as a set template. So this one will contain external data. Do you want to clear it? There is external data. Yes. I did some automation. I did some automation. So it says, do you want Microsoft Excel to clear the data before saving the template and then automatically refresh the data whenever the template is open? I don't want it to clear it, so I close it. So that's why, that's how you save yours. That's how you save yours. That's how you save yours. So that's the 4 project assignment we have to do and submit on or before Sunday this week. Thank you everyone for sticking around to this moment. See you all tomorrow once again. Tomorrow is going to be another mind-blowing session. I believe tonight's section is worth it. We have learned some powerful stuff, some powerful features, some powerful strategies, some automations as regards to our data processing, as regards to our data analysis. I want to believe that. No, praise is for student resource sheet. Those that have done it, their own will remain 3. Student resource sheet, payroll template, leave management template, and inventory log template. Inventory log template is 4. Is 4 project assignment for all of us that is on the scholarship program. Tomorrow is going to be another mind-blowing section. We are going to be looking at data validation, conditional formatting as tables, and then data security. We are going to be learning a whole lot as well tomorrow. Tonight is another interesting section. Now, those of us in the scholarship, let me take my attendance, your name and scholarship ID. Drop in the comment section and also give me feedback. How is tonight's section? How is tonight's section? How is tonight's section? Give me feedback. Your name, scholarship ID, and also how is the section tonight? Tomorrow I will take time to explain this. This is easy. Or on your own you can do stuff like this. It's easy. I will take time to explain this formatting. I will use tomorrow formatting to show this. I will use tomorrow formatting to show this, how tomorrow data formatting to teach how we can do this. Let me know your scholarship ID, your full name, scholarship ID, and also give me the feedback. How is the section this night? How is the section this night? Amina says, is the higher you go, the harder it becomes. That's how it's supposed to be. It shouldn't be the higher you go, the easier it becomes. The session is explicit. Thank you so kindly, sir. Thank you, please. Good to hear that. Please, how can someone know the type of lists to include under data validation? Just be calm. Tomorrow is part of, I'm going to deal with it extensively. Benedict, I'm going to deal with it extensively tomorrow under our data formatting, data validation, and the rest. But today, I use that as a tool to automate my stuff and make it dynamic. Don't worry, tomorrow I'm going to be going in full details, into details on that. Thank you so much, sir, for your time, sir. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Amina, for that. Let's keep it coming. Your name, your scholarship ID, if you're on the scholarship group, and if you are not part of the scholarship and you wish to be part of the scholarship, the good thing about it is that the scholarship has been fully paid for. This training we are having now has been paid for. The certifications has been paid for as well. the only thing that it requires for you to be part of it. The next cohort is starting by August, September, after the next orientation camp exercise. We are starting cohort 2. By that time, currently we have over 30 persons that have signed up for cohort 2. Registration for it is just 2,000 naira registration currently. Now the registration is currently 2,000 naira for all members, and for non-core members, registration is now currently 5,000 for non-core members. So that's what it is currently. Those of us, if you are not part of it and you want to be part of it, from beginners to advanced data analysis using Microsoft Excel, the course has been paid for, fully paid for. The certification paid for. It only requires your availability and your doggedness to learn. If you are ready to learn, we are ready to teach, and that is what we have. So see you guys tomorrow. Those of us, if you are not on the scholarship ID and you wish to be part of the scholarship, you can do well to email us. You can do well to email us or send me a WhatsApp chat, or send me a chat on WhatsApp. I will respond. But currently, registration is still ongoing. Once it gets to 40, we suspend it till after the orientation exercise. Thank you everyone for making it out for tonight's session, to be part of this night session. See you all tomorrow. Do enjoy and do have a lovely night rest.